Hi, I'm Antonio Mora. With the constant bickering and gridlock in DC and the pathetically partisan punditry that some call news on cable television, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that this is a country irretrievably split between Democrat and Republican, black and white, red state and blue. I, for one, refuse to believe that, firmly convinced that much less divides us than unites us, and that it's long past time for the all too silent centrist majority in this country to make its voice heard. That became powerfully evident to me in reading two op-ed columns over the past week. One was written by Peggy Noonan, the Reagan speechwriter and Wall Street Journal columnist. The other by an old friend, Joel Kotkin, a well-known author and columnist. Noonan wrote a beautiful but powerfully sad column, juxtaposing the hopefulness and American values of the classic song Moon River and the seeming hopelessness of the debate over mass shootings. Similarly, Kotkin compellingly wrote about how the troubled state of American democracy was on display in reaction to the mass shootings, and how we must transcend our political polarization to strengthen a robust and inclusive notion of American identity. Noonan is Republican, Catholic, and lives on the East Coast. Kotkin is a Democrat, Jewish, and lives on the West Coast. Despite the seemingly large chasm between them, Noonan and Kotkin have far more in common with each other than Noonan does with Donald Trump or Kotkin with Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders. Kotkin and Noonan are part of the rational center. That's most of us, the clear majority of Americans who don't identify with either party, or those who do but don't hold the extreme views of each party's base. We believe in American exceptionalism, but don't ignore America's faults. We don't call progressives communists or conservatives fascists. We are mystified by those clamoring for socialism. We reject separating migrant children from their parents and believe immigrants have made America great. But we understand the need for a country to secure its borders. We want action to protect the environment, but we know the Green New Deal would bankrupt the country. We condemn white supremacy, but we don't think being white is a sin. We do not believe in identity politics, but we are painfully aware of racism and discrimination against minorities. We know no civilian needs an AK-47, but we also know a mental health crisis is not just a right-wing talking point. We do not believe that everyone offended by language is a snowflake, but we see how political correctness is taken to unacceptable extremes. We reject censorship and attempts to silence anyone, even those we strongly disagree with. We don't believe in American adventurism, but dismiss isolationists. We don't want the U.S. to be the policeman of the world, but no, it must step in to stop evil and prevent genocide. We can't comprehend the fiscal irresponsibility of Democrats and Republicans who keep running record deficits, indebting our children and grandchildren. We are dismayed to see our senators turn the greatest deliberative body in the world into a chamber that no longer deliberates. We are discouraged to watch hearings in the House of Representatives turn into theater of the absurd, and alarmed to see the White House often treat the nation's business as reality television. We don't demonize the other side. We respect American values. We believe we can stand together, as America always has, because much more unites us than divides us. We must transcend political polarization to strengthen an inclusive notion of American identity. Enough of listening to the loudest voices in the room on the left and right. They can have their say, but they cannot dominate the debate. We are the majority. We can no longer be the silent majority.